hear about Ahmed, the Muslim high school kid who got arrested for bringing a clock to school? Yeah. So I guess what happened apparently was that it was because his clock was set to a different time than the school's. The school's clock was set in the past, and his was set in the future, where there aren't stupid racists. Yeah, so I've been in a relationship for a long time. So long. Anyway, I've heard that all the single cuties out there are using this pickup line, Netflix and chill. Have you guys heard that? Netflix and chill? Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but I actually think it's kind of sweet. Like, everyone just wants to like jump 3 years ahead into a relationship, skip the dating altogether, and just get straight into the Netflix and cuddling. So now on first dates, people are just comfortable with each other, and they're comfortable enough to fart in front of each other. They're like ordering for each other at restaurants because they know their girl or their guy has high cholesterol. They need to take care of that. You can also, they're so comfortable that they're like brushing their teeth while the other one is doing number 2 on the toilet, like a foot away from them. Soon it'll just be Netflix. I think it'll just go from Netflix and chill to just Netflix. Sex? No, let's just sit quietly in the dark. So I just went on vacation in Canada. I bet you don't hear that a lot. I really like traveling in Canada. I don't know, every time I go, the people, country are just lovely. Everything was great this time I went, except for my friend that I was traveling with. He was like, he decided he was gonna take a piss off the side of the road. And I was like, just get off the road. Like, why, like, don't do it right next to the car where we're parked. And he was like, no, like, come on, like, we're in Nova Scotia. Like, it took us like 2 ferries to get to this one island. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? And then a school bus comes by full of little Canadians on a field trip, and it has to slow down to get around our car parked on the side of the road. And I swear every kid gets up and peers out of the side of the bus and in unison gives off a huge ew. And he said, my friend, when he got back in the car, he was like, he said it reminded him of a shame that he hadn't felt in a long time, that of being mocked by a 3rd grader. And I was like, if a bunch of kids just saw your penis in a school bus, like, does that make you a pedophile now? Anyway, working on that one. I always dread when white people find out that I'm Indian. Like, I'll be talking to a new white friend, and I'll just be cherishing all of the moments before they find out I'm white. Or, I'm not white. I'm Indian. Whoa, that was like a psychological thing. Weird, Freudian slip. So I'll be cherishing all the moments before they find out that I'm Indian, and it's kind of like what I would think a job interview would be like if you were like an ex-convict. I don't know. So that's, once they find out, that's when it starts to get weird, and all the weird questions start coming out. And like, for example, like, I know everyone who does yoga like just can't stop talking about it. But if you're Indian and white people talk to you about it, it's like they're speaking to Thomas Edison of yoga or something. And I know he didn't invent yoga, by the way. And I do yoga sometimes, but I always, if they ask me like, oh, do you do yoga? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I do chair pose every time I'm in a public bathroom. So that's only because I still can't figure out what's up with the toilet liners. Up, down. And then like one time, like a new friend came over to my house and was like, oh, I thought there'd be more chafing dishes here. Because like, isn't buffet style like how Indian food is traditionally served? And I was like, no, I don't eat buffet style every meal, just all lunches and dinners. And then they try to attribute like every characteristic of my personality to being Indian, like, oh, that's why you're vegetarian. Oh my God, get tea for Daya. Like that, she loves tea because she's Indian. Oh my God, are your parents sad because you're not a doctor? Are they mad because your boyfriend is white? So from now on, I'm just gonna tell people that I'm white. My mom was Scottish, my dad is Italian. I don't know why I look like this, but now all of my choices are my own. So I'm gonna be starting my period soon.
Yeah.
Wanna know how I know? My phone told me. Yeah, I have this app that sends me the most ominous text messages, like, period day is coming. I wish that it would notify people with the same message, like all my coworkers, my family, my partner, anyone that I have to pass by on a sidewalk. I wish it would automatically post to like any kind of scrolling marquee, thermometers and clocks outside of banks. Yeah, like all that kind of stuff. Just tell everybody. And the other way that I know that my period is coming is that I cried at work in the bathroom alone after reading the headline of this story that my friend sent me. Oldest man in Australia knits little sweaters for cold penguins that have lost their habitats due to oil spills. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night.